Week 4 of the 2021 preseason finds us in one of the most remarkable buildings in North America, SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, as the Los Angeles Rams host the Washington football team. Hi everyone, I'm Cory Puffett, and while the games don't count until next week, we still had a fun one today as the backups took center stage. Washington's Kyle Allen threw 5 interceptions in 3 quarters during their Week 1 loss to the Steelers, but has protected the ball well in 3 quarters of work since, and hopes to continue that today. On the LA side, Devlin Hodges had his own turnover problems last week, as he completed 4 passes against 2 interceptions against the Philadelphia defense in the 4th quarter of LA's 24-12 victory. Washington's defense has been exceptional, forcing a lot of turnovers as you get a look at that unit along with Terry McLaurin, who had a quiet game last week against Tennessee's secondary, catching just 2 passes for 33 yards over 3 quarters of work. Head coach Ron Rivera hoped to get his young star a little more involved in the passing game in the first quarter today, but that would have to wait as LA won the toss and Jared Goff led his guys out for the game's first possession. Goff had a strong dress rehearsal against Philly, completing 70% of his passes for 218 yards and a pair of touchdowns. The game's first snap finds Goff in the shotgun, and he has all freaking day to throw, but the coverage is excellent and eventually he has to throw it away. So, 2nd and 10. Goff swings it out to second-year running back Cam Akers, and missed tackles would be a theme early in this one as you see Cameron Curl whiff on the dive. 2 plays later, Akers again, this time on the handoff, and he's got space to maneuver. Landon Collins meets him shy of midfield, but it's another Rams first down. Incompletions on 1st and 2nd down set up a 3rd and 10, and once again, Washington's defensive line unable to put pressure on Goff. He sits and finally unleashes one to Tyler Higbee. Fabian Moreau tried to stay with them, but a little late reacting to Higbee's break back toward Goff, and it's a 32-yard gain to the edge of the red zone. First down. Cooper Kupp runs a sharp out route, and once again Moreau's coverage just a bit soft and his diving attempt nowhere near on target, and the Rams are inside the 10-yard line. Kendall Fuller just barely preventing the touchdown, and it's a big-time play too because Washington forced a 3rd and goal, and this time Goff runs out of time and Daron Payne gets him. The LA fans not pleased as Matt Gay has to come on for the 32-yard field goal. But the Rams move the ball well on the drive, and they've got a 3-0 lead against the visiting football team. We get a look at Taylor Heinicke as he leads his men onto the field. He threw his first 2 picks of the preseason last week against Tennessee, but had a good day otherwise and is hoping to make the most of his last quarter of action before the regular season. Two plays in and it's 3rd down. Heinicke tries to hit McLaurin down the seam, but 2 defenders converge on him and he can't make the catch through traffic. Good news for Heinicke. He'll get another shot as it's a quick 3 and out for LA. This pass a dangerous one by Goff. We haven't had occasion to show any punts this preseason, but here's a decent return by Antonio Brown. It's going to be a 13-yard return. He slips 1 tackle and almost had a seam to daylight. Instead, Washington retakes the field in excellent field position. You'll get a look here at Heinicke and McLaurin retaking the field. And on 1st down, we're going to see Antonio Gibson follow his blocks and burst across midfield for 9 yards on 1st down. He picked up the first on the next play, and then 2 plays later, he's got another 7 yards here before Heinicke hooks up with AB. This one for 14 yards and another Washington first down. Heinicke did a great job in his limited action of getting the ball out quickly even as the Rams got pressure on a regular basis. That was about it for Washington though, and on 4th and 3, Hopkins is on to knot the game up at 3. Get another quick look at that field goal, and this was as close as the game would be for the rest of the day. The first play of the ensuing drive, Fabian Moreau, tired of being embarrassed on those whiff tackles, he picks off Jared Goff. He'll share some dance moves. Little split here, painful to even watch for me. And you'll see Heinicke, who probably had thought his day was done, gets to come back in for one more drive. First play, Heineke stands in the pocket and delivers it over the middle to Kelvin Harmon. They'll hurry it up, and he finally gets McLaurin involved on a 21-yard gain. An incompletion on first down targeting Gibson, but his touchdown streak would not end today. On 2nd and goal, Gibson swings out left, makes the spinning catch, and is into the end zone for his 4th straight game. Gibson with his 5th touchdown of the preseason, his 3rd in the passing game, and he certainly looks ready for the regular season to begin next week. The last play of the first quarter saw one more hookup between Goff and Kupp, and we entered the second quarter in a 7-point game. Right out of the gate in the second quarter, Devlin Hodges back to pass, and Daron Payne bursts through for his 2nd sack, and the ball is out. Matthew Ioannidis scoops it, and Darrell Henderson makes the touchdown-saving tackle. Get a look here at Ioannidis making the recovery, and then at Daron Payne punching that ball free. So Kyle Allen comes out looking to make it 6 straight quarters of turnover-free football for himself. That very nearly unraveled on first down, though, or rather 3rd down, as Allen targets McKissick on the screen, and Jordan Fuller comes up from a safety spot to swat it away. Dustin Hopkins is back in, and it's a double-digit lead for Washington. We'd get a quick 3-and-out for LA and another chance to see a punt return. This time, it's rookie running back Matt Vernon. He breaks 1 tackle, reverses field, and has a ton of room. Eventually, that room runs out, and Kenny Young makes the shoestring tackle, but not before Vernon has ripped off 29 yards and given us a reason to take one more look at the end of his return. Washington is back on, and they immediately set to work with an RPO bubble screen to rookie Harold Howard, who's had a great preseason. The next play goes for 5 yards to Dylan Cantrell. And then Matt Vernon starts his big day on the ground with an 11-yard gain. He must have been covered in some bacon grease or something, as he breaks 2 tackles and nearly slips through a slew of converging defenders. On 3rd and 6, Allen is looking for another rookie receiver. This time it's George Reeves. Not the best pass. Reeves has to go up for it, and it nearly took him back behind the marker, but it is a 1st down. 3 plays later, it's 3rd and 7. Allen back to pass, and that's Aaron Donald, who the Rams never took out of the game. He didn't quite get there in time for the sack, but his teammates love it, and it forced yet another Dustin Hopkins field goal. This one from 29 yards out, inside the left upright, and good.
The kick is good. Makes this Washington 16, Rams 3.
Desperately needing to put a drive together, the best Hodges can do is a 7-yard completion to J.J. Koski on 3rd and 11, and we get to watch yet another Matt Vernon punt return. Takes this one in, runs hard to the right, and then cuts back left, and again has space to bring this back past midfield. The sideline, perhaps the only thing performing on special teams for LA in this one. 1st and 10, Vernon immediately gets the call and once again navigates the defense for 10 yards. Later in the drive, Allen will find Cantrell out of the 5 wide receiver set for 8 yards. And then Vernon finds a hole and picks up the 1st down. Washington's drive stalled after that. Agbania Okoronkwo, botched his name, but he reaches Allen on 1st down. Get a short replay here. Antoine Galvin cleaned up that sack. And then on 2nd and 20, Washington tries the screen pass again. This time it's complete to McKissick, but the Rams ready for it. He loses 4 yards in the play, and this is where I break the 4th wall because I actually am aware that this is a video game, and this moment in particular made that evident as Kyle Allen winds up and targets Vernon deep. It's batted down, and what? Anyway, back to pretending it's all real. Hopkins nails it from 52 yards away with less than a minute to go in the half. Gotta love those Madden glitches. Devlin Hodges back in from the shotgun. He drops back and finds Bryson Hopkins for about 10 yards on first down. The Rams will call a timeout. Second and less than 1. Hodges has Tristan Jackson for 11 yards and a first down. The Rams burn their second timeout, and Washington's D is able to force a fourth down 3 plays later. Matt Gay on to try from 62 yards, and that is not going to be close. LA fans again voicing their displeasure with the offense's performance, or lack thereof. The last play of the half, a 9-yard run by Matt Vernon, and Washington holds a 19-3 lead. There are 2 takeaways, and Los Angeles' inability to establish the run game were the main factors in the Rams' halftime deficit. So we get into second half action, and Washington isn't giving up on the halfback screens. This time, LA's running zone defense, and McKissick has some blocking, picks up 10 yards. A few plays later, LA has the flat covered, but Terrell Lewis gets to Allen late, and Washington will pick up a free 15 yards on the penalty. Next play, Vernon rips off another big gain, and he is well over 50 yards on the day. Kyle Allen looking to throw on the next play, finds Harold Howard for 22 yards down near the goal line. We see Allen just getting that throw off, and Howard, just out of his break, locates and pulls the ball in for the catch. A play later, a massive hole opens in the line, and Matt Vernon's 10th carry of the afternoon has Washington finally back in the end zone after all those second quarter field goals. Danny Trevathan spent much of the second half playing both ways as a third tight end for Washington. You saw him celebrating with Matt Vernon there, and a quick replay of that touchdown run. After a 3rd and out for Hodges in the LA offense, Antonio Gandy Golden hauls in a 3rd and 2 pass, and then Matt Vernon is going to convert a 2nd and 7 into a first down. Hard running by Vernon and a subtle but powerful stiff arm to put the defender on the ground. A 3rd and 11 outside the 40 has Allen looking for his third-year tight end, Dylan Cantrell. He has his 4th catch of the afternoon. Fans unhappy as Darius Williams had poor positioning and Cantrell snuck in underneath him to convert the first down. On 1st and 10, Allen back, and the Rams record their 2nd sack of the day. This time it's Michael Hoyt throwing the Washington quarterback to the turf. Second and 18 for the Washington offense. Kyle Allen gives to Matt Vernon, and the rookie is having a day. He finds a hole, bursts through, and sets up a 3rd and 4 with Washington easily converts on Cantrell's final catch of the day, a 16-yard pickup down near the 5-yard line. Runs a nice corner route, but Terrell Lewis is right there, so he shows off his sticky fingers, grabbing it first with one hand and then securing it to his body as he's taken down. 2 plays later, it's 2nd and 6, and Washington strikes again, this time with Allen hitting Harold Howard on that shallow in route. Harold and Cantrell celebrate together, and we'll get another look as Dante Dion has tight coverage initially, but Howard was able to break back underneath him and give Allen a wide open target. Washington's defense in the 3rd quarter was nearly perfect, but Hodges finally completed a couple passes to end the half. First, an 11-yarder to J.J. Koski, and then a 13-yarder to Bryson Hopkins. The last 25 seconds ran off, and LA was set up right at midfield, trailing by 30, but hoping to at least finish the game on a positive note. Early fourth quarter action. Washington reads the screen well and holds Henderson to 2 yards on the opening play. But on 2nd and 8, Devlin Hodges has his longest completion of the game so far. 21 yards to Tristan Jackson, coming all the way from the right side of the field to the left corner inside the 30. You see that patience by Hodges, a strong throw and great footwork to get 2 and in fact 3 feet in bounds by Jackson. 2 plays later, Hodges does one better, though it was Henderson who did all the work. Trevathan just a bit late recognizing the play, dives futilely. Henderson shrugs off Troy Apke, and he'll take advantage of one of LA's few opportunities to celebrate today. It's a 22-yard gain down to the goal line as we get a couple more angles on that play. First and goal from about a foot out. Bryson Hopkins breaks away from Jimmy Moreland, and LA finally in the red zone. The second-year pro gets his chance to celebrate his second touchdown of the preseason. And we'll get one more look here at that scoring play. After a Washington 3 and out, their defense faces 4th down, but Hodges finds Jackson on the sharply run out route. They'd leak up again for 7 yards on the next play. But on 2nd down, here is John Bostic reading the quarterback's eyes and picking off the errant throw. He'll wave goodbye to LA as he knows there's not enough time for them to mount a comeback now. So Washington turns their focus to eating clock as Kyle Allen comes back on. Vernon is going to take this carry around the left side, spin out of a tackle, and muscle through another to fall forward as he goes over the century mark for the game. The defense loves it, and a great angle on the replay showing the rookie's power running ability. 2 plays later, we're going to get to see Vernon's vision here on this next play. Makes a hard cut right when his blockers fail to open a hole to the left, and he picks up 11 yards. Danny Trevathan and Coach Rivera love that run, and there it is from the reverse angle. Washington with an assortment of riches at the RB position heading into the regular season. LA is able to force a 3rd down, and this time Allen moves off. His first read to the left, and everyone else is covered. Might have had a 1st down to Howard, but a smart decision to send that one incomplete and let Hopkins come on to hit his 5th field goal of the game. It's one bad miss against Detroit notwithstanding. He has been money this preseason for Washington. LA went out 3 and out once more. Allen comes out firing, hits Howard for 15 on the slant. And from there, it's a simple thing to run out the clock. Coming out of the 2-minute warning, Vernon picks up 5 yards to convert this 1st down, and a couple kneel downs later, Washington leaves California with the win and a 3-1 preseason record. Matt Vernon made a case for a modest share of RB snaps, racking up 137 yards on 24 carries, and the defense bringing their takeaway total to 9 in 4 preseason games. The Rams fell to 2-2 in the preseason. They'll travel to Tennessee for next Sunday's Week 1 matchup, where Derrick Henry must be licking his chops after seeing what Vernon did today, even if these were the Rams' backups. Washington will return home to host their NFC East rival Philadelphia Eagles. The 3rd straight year they'll face each other in Week 1. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like or a comment below. Hit that subscribe button. I'm also looking for feedback on where I can improve, so leave those critiques below too. I'm Cory Puffett. This has been 2021 preseason action on Madden 21. Next week, the regular season gets underway, so be sure to come back soon for my next video.